Dang it. I know what shock is. That's stupid. Hey, open this. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, there's an updated version. There's new stuff. There's new stuff. Yes. So this is the old stuff, and then this is new. Oh, Blackbird Armament LLC. Oh, hired me to make an artistic render of their newly developed Sparrow rifle. It's a select fire integrated suppressed, very short, lightweight rifle of amazing quality. You can find them at blackbirdarmament.com. Wait, hold on. Is this like an actual Blackbird Armament? Is this an actual company? Oh my gosh, it is. That's super cool. That's really cool, actually. I don't need that. So they've actually that's pretty cool. I like that. That's neat. But this is nice. I love this right here. Look at this angled foregrip with the laser built into it. It's just super cool and futuristic. I love that. I've also made the Hornet assault rifle, so this is really neat because I've got. I don't think the original handguard looked like this though. I wonder if he's got the old version still up here. Is that it? No, it's the ringtail. I'm stupid. Dang, he must have taken it down. Dang it. I need to start downloading these images before he takes them down so that I can have the before and after. Hold on, let's go back up then. Open this. Back up. And then maybe I have it in my Google Drive? Because having that image would really help. I should just search it. Oh yeah, dude, so some of these guns are really cool. Yeah, see, I didn't remember that being yeah, so he did change the handguard and how it looked. Oh, because it looked like more like this. Gotcha. And then this is like without the side rails on. Okay. Duh. That's stupid of me. Let's check this out. Nice. So I mean, we could do this now too. Oh, and he also updated the grip design. I really, really like the way that that looks. I just love this as well. This thing right here is really nice looking. Because I have the Hornet sitting here, and its original base configuration, which was this length barrel and the same style of flash hider on the end, but he's switched up how the handguard works on this one, which is really, really cool looking. Oh, and he showed. Wait. He changed the fire selector too to an AK-12 style because it was originally a. On this side, it was originally the AK style, and then on the other side, it would be one of these. I was guessing, but now it's actually switched over to a different style. Man, there's a lot that we could do here in terms of updates. But that's not what we're doing today. What we're actually doing today is continuing work on the Sidewinder, which he did a really neat 3D render of, which is right here. So he's got the 3D render of it, which is really nice to see. Because you kind of get a feel for how kind of skinny this overall gun is. Like, I mean, look how skinny it looks. Obviously, this Lego one is probably going to be a little bit thicker than that, but yeah, a lot of these guns are just, they're super futuristic looking. There's a lot of really interesting techniques that go into doing these, and that's why I've been kind of coming here for a while now to get some really neat looking gun designs that are kind of grounded in reality too. Like, all of these make sense. Like, ejection ports right above where the magazine would feed from. There's no ridiculous angle that these magazines are trying to feed from. Same thing here. Other than, so the space line of guns is supposed to be like more futuristic. So fire saber rounds, like I said, is supposed to be more futuristic. But even then, it's something that I could see feasibly being possible in real life. The shotgun, pretty basic looking shotgun, but it looks awesome. Now then, the Greyhound, he changed up quite a bit on from how it originally looked. But again, still grounded in reality. You've got magazine, shell ejection port on both sides because it's ambidextrous. All Quicksilver Industries weapons are ambidextrous. Charging handle inside of your carry handle, which is really neat. This is the battle rifle version. And this, I'm guessing, is the newer DMR version because there was an older version as well. Let's see if we can find that image. I think I have that one downloaded. Yes. Yeah, so this was the battle rifle originally compared to this bottom one now. Which it seems just about that. Oh, interesting. I don't know why I won't either. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And then I guess I didn't download the designated marksman version, the image of that. But he had it so that it removed. Ooh. So he put the rail back on top. It still had that charging handle because the original DMR actually removed this section and it made it all flat, which you can see here. And it has a suppressor on the end of it and stuff. So it's pretty interesting to see. And then he changed up how this was as well. Anyhow, we'll continue on because I want to make the Sidewinder. I mean, I would make a file for it just to have the file, basically, so that if anything ever happened or something, you would be able to see it and have it like in front of you. But that's just me. We're gonna continue work on the Sidewinder, but generally speaking, not much. Interesting. It's Wednesday. I think my last stream, check real quick, was ages ago, I think. Yeah, it was 4 days ago, which is Tuesday, Monday. When did I stream this? September 27th? Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay. No problem, Openist. Hey, Kukri. I was. It's just kind of been a while since I streamed because I was out and about. So on Friday, um, I worked pretty much all day. But then, no problem, man. I understand if you gotta, actually be a productive member of society. Um, I got news kind of a while ago that my cousin was going to be, he's in the Air Force, and that he was going to be moving from where he's currently stationed to Alaska. So he's chosen to go to Alaska, which is kind of crazy, but it's his choice. So it is what it is, basically. Um, so I wanted to go up and see him before he left because he's family, and it matters to see your family before they leave and stuff like that. So yeah, the receiver it took a lot of work. Most of it is plate building on the side, turned sideways, and so far so good. It's turned out real well. I'm pretty happy with it. Um, you can see that most of it's hollow and stuff like that. So, but because he's moving to Alaska, there's like very little chance that I'm going to see him again anytime soon, because Alaska's literally the furthest away from Florida that you can possibly get in the United States, other than I think Hawaii, I guess. Though I'm sure he could have gotten stationed there as well if he had chosen to. So he was stationed at Warner Robins. He'll be stationed there until a little bit into October. And Warner Robins is basically right up the road from Florida. It's a 5-hour drive from Orlando because I'm right next to pretty much all the major highways going in and out of the state. So that makes it really easy to get where you're going pretty quick when it comes to doing road trips and stuff. So he invited most of the close family up for the weekend because there was an air show actually going on at Warner Robins that we got to attend, as well as being able to see him, which is, I guess, the main reason we went was to basically see him, but you also get the benefit of the air show out of it as well. Because he works on base in the Air Force, you get kind of like a little bit more behind the scenes looks at how some of the stuff goes on there, because he's a part of the system and they allow that type of stuff. So I was actually up in Georgia over the weekend. I worked all night. Well, I worked all day Friday, and my girlfriend really wanted to go, so because she worked as well, I did not go up with my family as they went. So I got up the Saturday morning at 3 o'clock and left here so that by the time I got up there, the air show would just be starting, and we would basically go directly into the air show. And it was really cool. This is the second air show that I've ever gone to, and I'm like, it was really, really cool to be seeing things actually flying. I love airplanes, and I've seen a whole bunch of war birds before in various states because I go to a lot of the warbird museums and stuff like that. But actually getting to see them fly was pretty cool. Plus, they did an F-22 demonstration, which was really awesome because it's an F-22, and they were doing really intricate maneuvers with the vector thrusts on the F-22s, which is really cool. They had a P-51 out there flying, which was also really cool. P-51 being one of my favorite of World War II fighters. It's just that it's so sexy. It's a really good-looking model of aircraft. Um, and then they had a whole bunch of planes on the actual part of the tarmac that you could actually go into. So I did a couple of really, really cool, like inside the actual airplanes, which was really nice um, to like get to see inside of them and see kind of how these types of things function. So I always forget what this is called. But this in particular, they had one of these parked on the tarmac, which was really neat because they had the front door open right here, and you could walk up the stairs into the inside. And then they had a tour of the cockpit with the guys who maintain this particular aircraft, so you can sit down inside the cockpit and they'll kind of go over a couple minutes with you. And then all the rest of this is hollow on the inside until you get back to right about here. There's a staircase going down, and they actually let you walk down there. And there was another guy down there who was doing a little bit of a tour about this back section. So there's 3 seats down here that these guys they sit in to do the boom operations and stuff like that when they're doing these types of refueling. So that was really neat. And then the German Air Force had 2 of their cargo planes out. So they had one of these parked on the tarmac that you could walk up the back ramp into, and you could walk around the inside and then walk back out. And then they had a jet also out there. Though all of these seem to be the prop version that you could walk through and that you could do the cockpit of as well, which was really neat. So that was really cool. Like I said, there was a lot of really neat stuff going on. I built Karo's PM Makarov. It's okay. Well, guaranteed if Karo had built within like LDD and then ordered the pieces for it, it'd be a lot better. I go to an air show every year. They have one annually in Milwaukee. Yeah, I'm really enjoying air shows. They're really neat to be a part of, especially when you get to see stuff that's not usually out there. I really like that aspect of it. Best air show I've ever seen was a heli putting out a house fire. Well, I guess if you ever get a chance to like go to a real one and not one where you're praying that no one got hurt, go for it, man. Because like I said, they're really neat. Depending on where you are, they can be pretty big. This one started at 9. Well, that's when the gates opened. The actual show started at 10, so you got people plenty of time to park. And then parking was so far away that they actually hired charter buses to bring everyone from the parking lot in, and that was all free of charge. Plus, the air show was free, so that was really nice. So the actual show started at 10, and it didn't stop until 5 o'clock. And it was both Saturday and Sunday. So if you didn't get a chance to go on Saturday, you could go on Sunday as well. And for the most part, from what I can tell, it was both the same. Like if you went to one or the other, you wouldn't miss much. But there were, as far as I know, on Sunday, a couple different planes that did fly around. It's like they had the AC-130 in the air on Sunday, which I didn't get to see, but they didn't have that on Saturday when I went. Dang, tinfoil hot pocket in the microwave. What a damn shame. Hellcats Air Force. So the Thunderbirds were out there in their F-16s, and that was like the final show that they did on Saturday. Like they started at 4 o'clock is when they got off the ground, And then for like a solid 45 minutes, they were going at it with some pretty awesome stuff. I got pictures of all this. I just haven't uploaded the pictures off of my camera yet, so um, I can't show you guys everything. I need to go through the pictures because like a lot of them, I was just snapping as many as I possibly could get a hold of, and because I was snapping so many of them, some of them aren't that good, and we can just delete them and not have to worry about it. Almost done. It's good to hear, man. Can't wait to see it. Should be pretty good. What else was out there? They had a couple like smaller attractions that you could look at too. So like they had a biplane that went out and was doing a couple maneuvers. A big one and a small one, like a larger old-fashioned two-seater trainer that went out, and then they had like a super small one that was built for doing aerial maneuvers out as well. Um, they had a really small fly-by-wire plane out there that was doing like the real crazy stuff, like the one where you can only be like 4.5 feet tall and really skinny to get into because it's like super small. And then they had a couple World War II fighters out there that were doing a couple of maneuvers, um, and a couple like older jets out there as well doing maneuvers, like I guess like maybe Vietnam, Korean War era. They also had a P-40 that was sitting on the tarmac the whole day. You could actually sign up and take it up and get to actually pilot it, which was really cool. It's a two-seater P-40. Two-seater P-40 Warhawk. I should turn on the backlight. Yeah. Yeah. Is this... Yeah, it's the American Dream, which was sitting on the tarmac. So I got a couple pictures of this as well. So like I said, this company right here, which is, I guess I'm plugging them now. They were sitting there. They had their booth set up, and you could pay, and you could um, actually fly it, which was really cool. Um, did it? Does it tell you how much it costs? Because I would love to know. Dang. All right, it's not on here. But they also had that sitting out there. So that one unfortunately didn't fly all weekend long. I'm gonna guess that it's probably somewhat expensive to fly that, which is why it probably didn't move all weekend long. So I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it is what it is, really. As like bad of a thing that we didn't get to see it go up is, at the same time, it is what it is. Lego is still giving the same BS for the LDD problem. They're just still telling you that you need to re-download it and stuff. Because that still doesn't seem like that can't be it. That literally can't be it. Because you've done that repeatedly and it's still not working for you. Firewall and re-download. Yeah, that can't be it. It blows my mind that they keep telling you, oh, it's definitely this, when it's very clearly not that. Elsewise, your LED would be working. I'm not gonna say it like bothers me that they keep saying this, but it's kind of scummy, right? It's probably an automated system then. I bet if you sent it an email like, oh, hey, I just want to confirm that I'm talking to a real person, can you respond with, I am not a robot? It will probably still respond without saying, I am not a robot. Like I said, it's probably an automated response system. This is this is hard, man, because this is like, it's stupid almost that you're sitting here trying to figure out the problems to this, and almost like no one is trying to like actively help you. That bothers me. See then that, like I said, this is just, it's bad. It shouldn't be like that. It should be. I've had better tech support with Nest Thermostat Company, which is kind of embarrassing towards Lego, because Nest Thermostat is nowhere near as large as a company as Lego is. Don't get me wrong, Nest is definitely a large company. They're just not as big as Lego is. So it's kind of mind-blowing that you're getting really bad customer service with a company as large as Lego, who honestly has had relatively good customer service. So I probably shouldn't admit to doing this, but I will anyways, because it's not like I'm going to get sued or anything. At least I don't think I will. But you can actually go to lego.com, and there's a little section down at the bottom that says, I'll just show you. It's easier if I just show you. Just go to lego.com. Just scroll down here to the bottom. It says support, and it says replacement parts right here, right? Missing bricks or broken bricks, right? So if you, I'm not gonna say that. So something that I used to do is say, oh, I was missing certain parts, right? I'm 22 in the United States. And then I would go through another page on lego.com to find a set, right? So let's just say 614, which I believe is a Coast Guard set. Yeah. And I was looking for, at the time, I was looking for particular parts that would be really helpful to building guns. And the pieces that I had the least amount of were these angled pieces, the 2x1x2s or the 2x1x3s, both inverted and uninverted, right? So I would say, add the bag, and then I would say that, a whole bunch of the pieces got like crushed or something. And Lego, like, basically no questions asked, no money or anything, no receipt or something like that, would send you a bag with all the replacement parts in it. I did that about 3 or 4 times to get a whole bunch of bricks for free, and then they finally like sent me an email that basically said, "Yo, on this next one though, you will tell us where you bought the set from, and you will provide us with the receipt, stuff like that." So it's definitely not something that you can do over and over again, and I don't recommend doing this because I'm pretty sure it breaks the law somewhere or something like that. But yeah, that's good customer service to me because that's helping me get what I need, right? Plus, this is replacement parts for like broken pieces and missing pieces as well. So if you ever got a set where the piece is actually missing, you could get those as well. Plus, down here at the bottom, you've also got underneath support building instructions for almost every set they've ever had, which is really neat. Because I don't think Megablox does this, do they? Or any other building brands? It's nice to be able, like if you have LDD, you can choose any set that you want and build it. Like I used to have old XO4 sets, but I no longer have the instructions for, but I've got all the pieces for still. So I could come in here and do the original year because I got it in the first wave. I got the Stealth Hunter, was my favorite. So now I can download the PDF and I can go back through my Lego box and get all the pieces for it and rebuild it, even though I don't have the instruction book for it, which I personally think is really good. That's good customer service, which is why it blows my mind that you're sitting here trying to get, good customer service and you're just not. That's bad to me. That's baloney, man. So yeah, I was gonna copy and paste this going down, but apparently when we get to here, it doesn't want us to. Ooh, maybe if we, real quick, let's just go back. Maybe if we put these on the outside, it will let us put these in. Here. No, okay. So what we're gonna do is just come over here, just drop it by just a little bit. Put that there. Is this one gonna work? No. Okay. Again, same thing. Just drop it by one. Grab it. Put it right there. Grab this and just close it up just like so. Grab this and close it up just like so. Which should be fine for what we need. So now let's go ahead and delete this out. So my one concern about doing what I'm about to do is that this is going to be way too thick. And I can already basically say, yeah, it is. Because this line, like right here going down, should be as thin. It should come like right here, and that should be as thin as it is. So yeah, we're about to get into some real good techniques. This is big brain time. We want to put this here. Put this here. We should be able to carry this down then all the way down to like here. And that should be the handguard basically done, and then we just kind of have to come through and fill stuff in as we go, which shouldn't be too bad. So the hard thing about doing this type of stuff is the second you turn Legos like into an angle, it becomes miserably more difficult to start filling in gaps in other places. Which is why I try not to do this too often. But I think for this particular gun, it might work out really, really well. See, that right there, I can already tell you is too thick. It's way too down this way. Which really sucks. Because we don't have anything else. because it should end like maybe right about here and then go up. I'm going to save this as the handguard version 1, just in case we need to come back to this, and then delete out a portion of this. Plus it also makes for, just in case I need it for a different model some other time, we have it available to us, because this is, I mean, it was work to get this in there, but it wasn't, too bad. So where's that? Okay, it's fine. It's out of the way. So we should be able to just come through, and it seems a little high. Do this like so. So now, I mean, we could do. Oh, I have an idea. So let's actually start in the back this time. So let's make it as far down as it's gonna go. So let's take a look at this. How far? Okay, so this is about where it should be. So what we're gonna do is place this here, place this here, then do let's do a magic ratio real quick up here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that right there marks 4 studs high in terms of plate. So then we can take and put one of these pieces here and here, and place a 1x4 here, and it will match up perfectly, which will set us up for something later. So I think 4 studs high, I think would be like kind of in here. So maybe we can do 1 more stud worth of height, which is a little bit more complicated. So if we just move this down, we can do 1 down, and then we'll move this back up. I just needed it for quick visual reference. Well, thank you, Aiden. I appreciate that, man. I try my best. And I really do enjoy live streaming because it's nice. Yeah, and welcome. Kukri over here keeping me in line. I totally should have said welcome first. Oh, I should be placing these upside down. So it does look a little weird without the magwell in, but I think the second I get the magwell in, we'll be fine. When I first actually started making this, I actually started with the magazine because I was going to try to make it so that you could load the magazine entirely. And the magazine ended up being like 5 studs wide and was like super big. Like it got ridiculous. So I very quickly decided to not do that. So what we're going to do is, now that we have these flipped upside down, we're going to place these in. And we're going to place a 3 yeah, we'll place a 3 there and a 2 here, and then a 3 connecting those. The 4th of October? You mean it's coming up like now? You should send LDD or Lego support a message and be like, my birthday is October 4th. All I want is a working LDD. Please, for the love of God, help me. Just straight up like, please. Give me what I want, Lego. All I need is a working LDD. Is that so hard to ask for? So this 4 that's about to go on here, whenever it decides to, is going to actually stick out just a little bit once we turn this up at an angle, but that's not that big of a deal, as the front of this handguard is actually sloped ever so slightly, like really, really just ever so slightly. So now that that's like that, the plan is to take and bend this up. Before we do this, though, we are definitely saving this because I don't feel like remaking this. Always save before you use the hinge tool. Wise words when you work with LDD. If you can work with LDD, because some people are not able to. So this should move up, just like so. If we just take a look at this, it should be able to close by like one more. Come on. No way. There we go. Boom. Ooh, dude, I haven't eaten dinner yet, but man, pasta sounds so good. I don't even know if I have anything to eat for dinner. Yeah, there's literally, well, I guess I could cook hot dogs and beans and just cut up the hot dogs and put them in the beans. That'd be fine. So this is the hard part about doing stuff like this, because this right here, this one point overhangs into this stud space just a little bit. So we actually won't be able to put something entirely there to close that off. And then we have to figure out how we're going to do all the rest of this gap as well, which is going to be brutal. But I mean, this up here looks great for the most part. We just, obviously, we need to get this weird circle thing up on it. We can do that at a different time. So for now, I think what we're going to try to do is we'll close off this back gap first. I'm thinking about just putting 2 plates here and not using any angles or anything like that, because I think the plates would minimize how atrocious this looks. Oops. Yeah, I think that right there is plenty fine. Part of the receiver looks like an AK-74U receiver. I don't know if I see that one, man. Which part of the receiver? So you got this little piece of detail going on too, which I would like to add. This portion right here, the handguard, or the actual? Okay, up here. Okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, shit, yeah, man, you're right. It does. It's kind of scary. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Though, probably the incessant clicking of me on the trackpad is also probably really annoying as well. So, it's kind of like apologies all around. So yeah, none of the angles that we have from here is in Lego is going to close this gap. So now our compromise is, what do we do to fix that? First vid I saw from you was the AK Nagant integration a few weeks ago. I fell in love. I think it would be really cool to get my own AK 80% kit. AK-47 ghost guns. Okay, my own like you know, just 80% bent receiver, um, and then get all the parts for it and build my own AK. And then after building my own AK, it would be really cool if I got just a I can't seem to find a plank of it. But like, you know, raw wood for guitars and bass size. So like get something like this and then sit down and carve out my own Mosin Nagant walnut stock specifically for that AK and dress it up just like I want it to. I think that would be really, really cool to do. I just don't have the necessary anything to do that really. Ice cream wood? What the hell is ice cream wood? This is an actual thing? I like how all of this is popsicle stick stuff. Is this what you're talking about? Or is there like a... Like, is it just saying ice cream wooden popsicle sticks, or is it... Oh. Oh. Damn, I'm sorry. I butchered that. I butchered that miserably. That's my bad. So I think the only thing that would actually fit into this gap really, really well is um, a one of those vent pieces, 1x2 vent pieces. The unfortunate part is there's really no way for us to get those in there effectively. So we're kind of out of luck on that front. Right here, I believe we should be able to cheat by putting a circle stud. Please let me cheat. Aha, yes. Wonderful. And then you, yeah, just barely managed to slide that in there. So this is less than ideal, but it's what we're getting because it's what we can do, basically. I'm sure if it was in real life, there was other methods that we could have possibly gone about to get this all really nice and closed off. But even then, this looks pretty good. So part of the inspiration for this is logo MP5. Is this right here. And this portion of the stock right through here is all built at an angle going down, which is really good looking, but he had to take plates and cover up some of the gaps, I think, going on here. Which, again, it looks really good. We just... If I can pause at the right time, that'd be helpful. Oh, man. I'm just waiting for it to kind of go to the stock, because that would be... I should just scroll through the video and so. This will have to do then. But basically, so the stock it hinges, and then there's a line that kind of comes down this way, and then it goes kind of in a jagged edge coming all the way down, which is why some of these plates are where they're located. So it looks really clean coming down this way, but then you have to figure out how you're going to cover up all these holes that it makes, which is hard. So you get a better camera and make this his thing. That's a beaut. He posted for a little while, and then he stopped. His last post was 2 years ago, a very long time ago. But he made some really awesome looking guns. His ACR is what pushed me to do really well on my Divinity Edition ACR, because his is it's almost like perfect. It's insanely good. His Vector also insanely good. The G28 insanely good. The DMR, like I said, most of his stuff just insanely good. Like, I love a lot of what he did. But he stopped building. Yeah, he had to destroy the ACR because he was starting to work on another project. So it had to go. It is what it is. His name is Dean. Yeah, he was a really cool guy. We talked to him all the time. Like, just there before my different username had a Discord, there was a Google Hangouts chat that a lot of people were actually in. So Nate Dogg, though, his channel name has changed to Nathan, not Nate, now is the new name of his channel. Was in there. Brickbuilt Replicas was in there. Who else? Gems Lego Guns. Kara was in there. So Extreme Lego Guns, though he's changed his channel name as well. Do something else nowadays. I want to say Pixel Bricks was in there, the original, not the ripoff. I was in there. Asher was in there. David, can't believe I'm forgetting about him. I talk to him still. I think, for the most part, that was everyone. Everyone, yeah, kind of worth mentioning. Who's Pixel Bricks? Oh man, this guy was really good. Before, I think his channel was deleted because I think his parents made him take it down. Let me try to find it. Lego M4 from CSGO. Yeah, I should have known that it wasn't going to be here. Let's try to look up Pixel Bricks then. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not this guy. Yeah. Dang, that really sucks. He made a really good looking M4 skin from CSGO. M4 skins. CSGO. Let me see if I can find the actual skin that he made. This top one right here, this the tan one. I don't know the name of it. I don't play CS:GO, obviously. You know, it's a more basic skin and all, but it's really hard to make skins for guns that look really good. So it was impressive nonetheless. He made other guns that looked really, really good as well. Yeah. So I think it was like desert something. Yeah. I've got the so basically down here around where the mouse is, I can open it up in OBS. I've got my desktop background going because it's a slideshow of um, Desert Fox. I'll look up Desert Fox to see if that's it. I have my okay. I'm doing like 4 things at once. I should type in CS:GO. So the background on my laptop is a whole bunch of renders that I've done for this particular year, set to cycle through. So I've got that set up now down here in the corner, so that people get to see it as they come through to kind of see what else I've done. Jungle Tiger? I feel like it's not Jungle Tiger, but this is it. Yeah, that's not it. How, like, deplorably misleading. Oh, man. Root me. Desert Strike. There we go. Desert Strike M4 CS:GO. Yeah. This thing right here. He had made this out of Lego, and it looked really, really good. And yeah, that's what I remember him doing the most. Because, like I said, it looked really, really good. And he built it in real life too. He wasn't a a digital builder like I am. So yeah, like rest in peace. I believe Jim was talking about him the other day. What I think Jim said happened is his parents were like super Christian, and they found out what he was doing and basically made him delete everything, like all the videos, the whole channel, and all of that stuff, um, and give it all up basically. Which is it's really sad because he had a lot of potential for a builder, because he did a lot of really good, fantastic work. I want to say that he also sold his stuff. So if you wanted to buy it, you could. I think. I don't entirely remember. Oh, I did. There we go. You probably do it from this side since this is the side that it's on. But yes, the how thin this is looks way better here. So that definitely looks pretty good. This grip is, I mean, this is black. This is more of a gray. It's probably going to end up being gray, but the shadows on the inside should help to hide that line. So we should be relatively okay with how that looks so far. So we can go ahead and save that so we don't lose any of the progress. Move this up out of the way and save it again. So now we can begin work on something else as we go more. I guess we can work on the magazine. So if we open this up in, I can't spell. We open this up in another tab, and we look at the 3D version of this that he posted, we can actually get a better look at the magazine. So we can see that, hey Killer Frog Gaming, it's like thin up here, but then it like gets bigger. So we can go ahead and try something like that. Oh, I totally forgot that we put these here. I might actually just end up deleting that out and putting the magazine like right there. If we come back to the profile view, yeah, I think the magwell will probably just end up going like right down there, right there. Do I have a Discord server? No, but the Discord server that I use regularly is actually My Different Usernames Discord server. So if you go to My Different Usernames channel, it should be in his descriptions of his videos that you can find the invite and stuff into the channel. So plus this is really neat because it's a really well organized Discord server. I'm in it all the time, and there's plenty of other people in here, so you can see Form Over Function has designed an ARAK in this, so this is really neat looking. I just like to be able to see what other people are making and figuring out how other people have designed stuff, because I've also made an ARAK, so I'll look for the invite. Thanks, I'm in Chris Hopkins too. Yeah, man, no problem. This is just the one that I particularly use the most all the time. So I usually post most of my like updates and stuff in the Creative Text channel and get feedback from people in here if I'm not doing it on stream. So let's design a magazine that's going to be extremely complicated, I guess. Can this fit here? It can. That's good. My different username? Yeah, it's pretty neat. And he talks to people on a fairly regular basis. Though, you know, he's kind of busy with his own stuff as well, so. ARs. Complicated to do out of Lego, but when you get them right, it's good. Oh, you're looking for a cool gun to build and you want it to be a machine pistol. You've come to the right place, my friend. I have just the thing for you. It's actually by the same guy that I'm working. Well, I'm not working with him, but that I'm looking at right now. Shockwave 9001 on DeviantArt. He's got all sorts of super futuristic looking guns and stuff that you can work with. And by far, the favorite machine pistol that I've seen by him, the one that I like the most because I think it's just incredibly sexy, is this one right here. So the Surrogate. Well, I guess he calls it an SMG, but I would potentially call this a machine pistol. If you want something a little bit easy... Oh, God. I forgot. Once Discord is open, that happens. If you want something a little bit easier and is more like a machine pistol, you've got this right here. It's more like an Uzi Pro, but it's really nice. You checked out this program called Gunforge. It's a Russian program, but it's pretty intuitive. I have not. Huh. Well, that's pretty neat. I probably won't use it. I really don't design much custom firearms anymore. But in the event that I do, I will check that out, because I usually just use Pimp My Gun, but you know, Pimp My Gun hasn't been updated in ever, so I'll check that out if I ever go back to making custom guns. Alright, man, no problem. Alright, so designing a magazine. Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting, because we got to get it like super thin up front, but still able to hold all of this, and then kind of wider in the back. So what we'll do is use these new pieces that they came out with, because these pieces are just great, all sorts of different ways. And push these up through. No problem, man. And then for now, we're going to set up a strong base. Should be, so it's 16 long. Oh my god, even 16 long is short. But we can place this here, like so. And then up front here, because of how thin it gets, we should be able to place a 8 coming up like this. Wow, it's a 10. Wow, man, this thing is 10 studs high. Just like so. And then can we place... I don't... I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work, but just to look, just to be sure. We place that there, yeah. It would still leave a little bit of a gap. Which again, I kind of figured that already, but I just wanted to make sure. Man, this thing is super long. How big did I make the shell ejection port? So I have from here 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 16 studs would be here, and then back. And this goes... Oh, it goes in at an angle too. Oh boy, this is a pain. I might just design the top of this magazine flat instead of trying to get this big angle on it, and call it a day there. So if we quickly also change this color, because I'm working in the wrong color. We'll try to figure out a really good looking design for this and then go from there. So I think doing something like this is fine. And then just doing a straight up copy of this right here. And that will set up the actual magazine itself is pretty much just like that. So now all we need to do is design the outside of it to match kind of the profile of what's going on here, which should not be too difficult to do. So I think part of what we can do there is actually delete these out and instead replace it with these corner pieces. So we get studs going down the front as well. And that will also have these pieces in, so that I'll connect that together, which is just a benefit. So this magazine is now entirely connected to itself. So this going down like so. And then we can see that it's kind of curved ever so slightly up on the front, but not too much. So to replicate that look, we can actually use... Is this the flat one? Yeah, it is. We can actually use these. So we put a 4 here, and then put a 2 in between them. And we get just a small slight curve out, which, you know, it's really no big deal, but it's there, so we kind of want that. and then we want to make it flat going backwards, which should be simple. Should be able to just do something like this and carry this up, and then do a color and shape selection. It should only select these 5 bricks, which is good. And place that there like so, no problem. And then basically where the actual casing would be getting bigger, like right about here, is where the magazine also gets bigger. So we can do that. Command C, Command V, going down, like so. And then just take, and this is a 10. Almost keep forgetting it's a 10. This is more of like a, yeah, it's more like just one stud narrowed down in the back. So this is fine. Do this, followed by that, followed by that, that, boom, boom, boom. I was inspired by one of your rifles. I couldn't find it on your channel though. What rifle was it? I kind of come through every once in a while. I'll do a little bit of housekeeping and I'll delete videos in and out. So if it's something that I've deleted, I might still have something. I don't know. It just depends on what it is, because I don't, like I said, I don't know what it is just yet. Sounds like the Mark 25. Should be able to do this. Hit this button. Mark 25. Oh, the Mark 20 SSR? Yeah. I have quite a few Mark 20 SSRs. Mark 20. Because I've got the older version where I was just doing some really old screen capture. And then I had a little bit of a new version. And then I did a custom version because I got inspired to do a custom version. So, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. What is it? This right here is an AK-47 bullpup chassis. It's fairly recent, but it's really neat looking. It's this thing right here, the AKX2S. So basically, it's just a kit that you can buy, and you drop it onto your existing AK, and it turns it into a bullpup, which is really neat. It's also really cool looking. Like, I love the look of it. Other than this front foregrip, I think that's dumb, which is why I left it off my model. But it's super cool looking, like I said. So, like, I think if the Russian military wanted a futuristic AK, this would be kind of what they're looking at, basically, because it goes to that bullpup design. Bullpup, without a doubt, is probably going to be the way of the future. I say that because it kind of has to be, right? Like, you're fighting in urban combat scenarios all the time, consistently, day in, day out. A shorter rifle is good in combat scenarios like that because you've got like enclosed, confined spaces all around you. But you don't want to lose your ballistics out to a range either. So if you want the long barrel, but you don't want to sacrifice overall length, then you go with a bullpup. If you want if you don't got to worry about basically where you'll be operating in, like it's going to be pretty much no matter where you're at, you're going to be what you call it. Like it basically just doesn't matter if your overall length is long. Then a traditional rifle is fine. But like I said, I think personally the way of the future is definitely going to be the why is this not going? The bullpup rifle, simply because it's better for the military, basically. Better for troops in general as well. We'll see, though. I know most recently, I think the military has started up another weapons trials, which is super interesting because I thought for the longest times that they would not be looking to replace the M4 family, the AR-15 family, I should say. And I thought this for the longest of times because it's basically it's so much money to try to replace everyone. In the sense that the second you buy a new rifle system, you have to start retraining people on using said rifle system. Because, I guess as dumb as it sounds, not everyone is as proficient with firearms as I may be, I guess. So, like, I sit down and I watch a lot of firearms videos, right? Day in, day out. It's like, it's just what I kind of do because it's something that I enjoy doing. But not everyone is like that. And because not everyone is like that, they might not understand that the AK safety is different than an AR-15 safety. So like I said, you then have to start looking at doing, the second you get a brand new rifle, you have to do retraining on how to use said rifle, which it is what it is, but at the same time, you really don't. That's a lot of money, basically. And as much as money as we spend on the military, it's kind of hard to kind of justify it when the old rifles are working just fine from what we can tell. I mean, as far as I'm aware, the AR-15 has been doing fine in its military service since its adoption. And they worked out all the kinks. As far as I can tell. So certainly a lot better than some of the other rifles that have been fielded by militaries. L85. Wink wink, nudge nudge. As cool of a looking rifle as that is, it certainly had a really bad reputation with a lot of people who used it. Found this weird gun called an OSV-96. It's a sniper, but it's in full auto. I've talked about before on my SVU video. Welcome back. I talked about it in this particular video. There's 3 different versions of the SVU. There's the first SVU, there's the SVU-A, and there's the SVU-AS. And basically the only difference between all 3 of them is the fire settings that come with them. So the SVU was originally designed with safe, semi-auto, and full auto. The SVU was designed with safe, semi-auto, burst auto, and then the SVU AS was only safe and semi-auto, I think is the order that it goes in. It's kind of complicated and easy to forget that type of stuff because, it's a really minimal difference basically between all of them. Ah, uh-huh. I think the AK, well, I guess it's really not an AK, but the thing that I found like super interesting was actually Popenker's, Max Popenker's, the guy who runs WorldGuns.ru. I'm not going to show you guys. I'm just going to leave it at that. That guy that runs that website, he's actually Russian, so he kind of, let's say, like, he knows his stuff when it comes to Russian firearms. And he talked to Ian from Forgotten Weapons about the SVD development and like what it was supposed to be used for and things like that. And I found that a lot of the variants that they were working on for that were really cool. No problem, man. Don't worry about it. Like the N70, which is basically what they were going to use to replace the RPK with, but it was a Dragunov. That like idea was just so, it like blew my mind. I was like, what? They plan to do what? They plan to take a Dragunov, make it full auto, give it a 20-round magazine, and put a bipod on that with a heavy barrel? Wow, okay. I actually have that coming up as a YouTube video sometime. Because it's supposed to come out on the same day that my new Dragunov comes out. Would you be down to have an apprentice? I don't particularly want an apprentice. I do, but I don't. I don't want the work that comes with it, so part of what I'm doing in these live streams is I'm trying to get people to see how I do certain things on top of having a good time talking about what we're doing as we go and stuff like that, so that people can kind of learn from what I'm doing. Like this magazine right here is a good example of getting the shape really nice looking, and honestly this would be relatively okay to hold in real life. Plus you can load it with 5 rounds, which is really neat. It's just, like I said, I like to have, I want to show people how I do things, but I don't want to have to like explicitly state how I do things. This guy's supposed to be making a AK-50 50 caliber AK. Yeah, I'm actually subscribed to that guy. Actually, I really like that guy. His name is Brandon Herrera, though I suck at spelling Herrera. He's a really awesome guy. He's known as the AK guy. I've been keeping up with him since his original AK-50 video, like posted ages ago, because it was going to be like a really cool thing. I just this thumbnail is like the only AK-50 design that we've been able to see so far. I don't really like the looks of it. I do, but I don't. Like, it's very clear that it's supposed to be like a more modern AK, but I think it would look really, really cool if they took the SVD furniture and scaled it up slightly. I think that would look pretty cool for the AK-50. But that's just me. It does look kind of just like a Barrett. I want to learn techniques and such, great plate building and stuff like that. Oh, great plate built mag, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. For techniques, I would recommend actually not following me, kind of. Like, there's stuff that I do that would definitely translate well to real world, but because I'm on the computer, not all of it would. This magazine, definitely good. It's oh boy, how to say this? Like on the side here, this is 16s going all the way down, and then there's two 10s holding this. So this direction is completely fine, and there's studs holding all of this together and all of this together. So you get this perfect hollow box. And then down here, everything for the most part is held together. The only concern that I would have is right here because there's nothing bridging this gap. But this would translate really well to real life. This barrel, on the other hand, not so much. I could put a 32 long Technic axle going down this, and it would help, but it's still going to sag really bad. So in terms of really good Technic connection or like techniques, I would recommend Nick Brick, which we haven't talked about in stream just yet, because his techniques are really good. He's done a lot of really, really good-looking models and had them be incredibly sturdy and strong. Christopher Hotman, as he's just a god amongst men. Alan's Custom Lego, which is Dean, though he doesn't upload anymore. And I think those three people for Lego techniques when it comes to gun building are your best bet for people to follow. And just kind of watching what they do and mimicking what they do. Now then, Christopher Hotman, Dean, and Nick Brick don't live stream this type of stuff, so it's a little bit harder to figure out how they're doing this. But if you kind of pay attention in the video and kind of dissect and reverse engineer how they do certain things, you'll be able to figure it out as you go. I want to do more digital. I live in an apartment, so in-real builds kind of don't work, plus my collection is very limited. I feel you, man. All my Lego collection is in storage right now. Yeah, Nick Brick is definitely a madman. A savant's a really good word to use. Yeah, he did used to live stream a lot, but he doesn't anymore as much. I'm really hoping that he gets pulled into Lego Masters, because that would be really cool. I think that's a huge step in like everything, because I think it would be really good for the gun community out of Legos anyhow, because then, you know, people could kind of see like what we do, because it's kind of underappreciated almost. There's a lot of techniques and stuff that go into gun building that, like I said, people underappreciate. Which, you know, it's not a big deal, but we would love to see more exposure into the community so people could kind of, you know, see exactly what we're doing. Have you ever seen that one video of the most realistic Lego sniper? No. I feel like I think I know who it's by. Why did I click on images? Now then, working internal receivers, honestly, for a sniper rifle, I find it impressive, but I don't know if I find it that impressive. And the reason I say that is because for a bolt action rifle like this, it's kind of simple, really. So for a mechanism for this, basically, if you want like a full working internal action, all you'd have to do is have your bolt, when you pull it back, there's a little tab that runs back as you're pulling it back, and it grabs the hammer that's connected to your trigger. Oh, no, semi-automatic brick shooter. Oh, okay, well, that's a different story. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and it doesn't it eject as well? Realistic Lego rifle. Yeah, we'll take a look at this. I should probably just skip through all this text. Okay, so it's kind of modeled after like a Barrett almost. Okay, so basic magazine release, that's fine. Okay, so he's got the working hammer. I'm gonna still say I'm not impressed, but I am. And the reason I say that is because I've seen this before. I think what this guy's done is taken and combined a myriad of different um, functioning designs. Because I've seen working hammers before. Yeah. Firing pin. I'm a little bit more interested in seeing how this works. Okay, so touching the firing pin releases a lock somewhere that pulls the bolt back. Yeah, that's all basic. Once you watch enough Forgotten Weapons videos, you kind of understand the mechanics of how guns work and stuff like that. So I can understand. I know how this all works. No, 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 man. You're good. I'm not really hung up on that. I see that. Um. Ooh, modified piece. Modified piece. We're at Nate. I don't do modified pieces. That somewhat bothers me. Though, so for a hammer design, there's a couple different places that we can go. So if we go back to Alan's Custom Lego, which will pop up, even though I don't think that's the name of the channel anymore, Alan's Lego. How to make a Lego trigger with safety, and then I want to say he's got the this right here, which should be a trigger group. That's obviously the ASR lower receiver. So I've seen this before. So like I said, I wasn't too impressed by the hammer section, particularly because I've already seen this before. So this was 2016. When did the other guy upload? 2014. Okay. So this guy got there first before Dean. So if I had seen him first, I think I would have been more impressed by it. But because I've seen Dean, I wasn't as impressed. Though this guy definitely, as far as I can tell, 2014. That's 2 years earlier than Dean. And Dean, I think, was the first person that I've seen personally that did that. So that's pretty cool. In terms of the bolt carrier moving back and forth, I've seen that system before as well. So you've got a strong rubber band pulling this way and a strong rubber band pulling this way, and you're releasing tension off of this one up here so that it pulls back this way, and then you're putting that tension back on and it'll pull back this way, which is a really complicated system. I'm not trying to take away from this guy's design at all. I've seen it before. Now then, like you said though, that firing pin was neat, how the whole bolt carrier was moving. The firing pin is the complicated part because it's very clear that you have to touch that firing pin in order to get the bolt to move backwards. So what I'm thinking is that you push the firing pin forward, and it will release the pressure that this rubber band or whatever is up here on, which is what allows this rubber band back here to take over and drag the bolt back. And then maybe when it gets to the back of the receiver, there's some type of wall, like right here, that pushes on the firing again, and it grabs the lever and like pulls forward again. Again, I'm not too sure on the entire thing with this, but I think it's definitely possible to remake if you tinkered around enough. Oh, Tim's here too. It's Glock 23 version 3.
Babe.
What?
Did you eat all the fudge animal crackers?
No.
Where are they?
I don't know.
Oh, I found them.
Oh my god, this picture. Oof. God, that picture's bad too. Okay, that's much better. He's definitely got good stuff. I think I've grown up in a time where I've seen it all, and I'm no longer like impressed by that type of stuff, if that makes sense. Like I said, don't get me wrong, it's definitely impressive. I'm just not that impressed because I've already seen all that. Though he is definitely the first. Yeah, he's got a really bad attitude from reading those descriptions. Like, that one guy wasn't even saying anything bad about him, and he just, like, it almost felt like he was just being mean to him for no reason. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to set the magazine in place. Should be relatively easy to do. Oh, I'm going to move in this seat and sit lay back, basically. Okay, hold on. I got to turn the chair. Yeah, he's kind of toxic. I respect him for being able to make something really complicated like that. It's kind of, he's an asshole. What gun am I working on? I am working on the Sidewinder sniper rifle. Alright, hold on. You guys are probably hearing some weird ass noises. I'm just trying to put the chair back. There we go. I got it. So this is, put this arm up right here. It's a custom sniper rifle made by Shockwave 9001, who he has his own fictional company called Quicksilver Industries, and they make some really cool looking guns. So ages ago, I made the Sabo round that this gun uses, this thing down here, and I wanted to use it here. So I didn't want the bullet to go to waste, so I resurrected this project basically. Oof. Dang, man, that's rough. Alright, so now, like I said, we're going to set the magazine. So to do so, we're going to start on another section in green, because I haven't used this green yet. So these are some of my new favorite colors to work in. These like spring kind of colors, I think is what I'll call them. Like the green, the blue, and the yellow, because they're all really light, which I like a lot. So we're going to duplicate the magazine out off to the side because we're about to put one into the gun. Yeah, pastels. That's the word. It's a good word. Because eventually I do want to show people the magazine off in like the video when that happens. So I definitely want to have it like off to the side so we can do that. So I don't have to try to grab it out of the gun or anything like that. It's just right there available for use. So to get the slope angle on this magazine, I'm going to place one of these. This is a really basic way of getting the angle on this magazine, but it works, and that's all we really need. We just need it to work. So we're going to place that there, and now we have to figure out how exactly we're going to connect everything in place. So we should be able to go from the top, which would involve moving this out of the way for now. It's a temporary thing. And this will go from 3 studs down to 2 studs. So if we put that there, we should be able to then grab one of these and place it here. And rotate this over like so. Just kind of, for now, we'll set that like so. And then the piece that we're going to remove is this. And we'll put studs up now on top, and it should click into place and be at the angle, at least close to what we need it to be at. We can adjust as we need to get it right. Okay. Alright. Alright, so because of that doing that, what we can do is actually place one of these here. Delete that, delete this, place one of these here. Should be fine. You hop on COD Modern Warfare yet? No. I literally downloaded the beta and then didn't even play it, and I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get to play it because, from what I can tell, it's looking pretty good and like really smooth running. And that goes right there. I have a gun that looks like a hybrid between an A12 and an M14. It's pretty neat, man. MA12. Welcome back, Openlist. Oh, the mobile version of COD? I've seen a few advertisements on YouTube about it, but I don't think I'm like too interested in it. So I think what we're gonna do is actually move the magazine forward. I think this is the angle that we want it at. I just want it to stick out past the handguard just a little bit more. And I think this is a good height. I think it's probably going to be a little bit longer than intended, but I think we'll be fine. Like I said, though, I don't... Oh, I forgot. We need to move the magazine first. I'm not opposed to mobile or anything like that. I don't think it'll be for me. Though, like I said, I have seen it. I've definitely thought about getting it. I just don't think I'll enjoy it as much as having a console in my hand and using the console instead. I'm more of a console player in the long run. So that'll go there, and that should be what we need right there. All right. So I am fine with that. So let's delete that piece off and that piece off, and then place this piece back in here like so. We need to definitely put these pieces back in where they go on the bolt. So those go there, and these three go right in there. Boom, just like so.
Never had a good enough PC to play anything other than Need for Speed Most Wanted Blacklist or whatever it's called. I'm not really into PC gaming. I understand the benefits of PC gaming. I'm really not that into it. I played a few games on PC, but they were mostly um, Star Wars titles. Star Wars: The Old Republic 1 and 2, both fantastic games, though one is definitely better than the second. Um, Wait, did I say Knights of the Old Republic or did I say Old Republic? I'm sorry if I said Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, though 1 is definitely better than 2. And then I played a little bit of the Old Republic before I got to a point where the game just kept like crashing on me all the time, and I could no longer um, play at all. So I stopped playing that. RuneScape, I played for a little bit, and yeah, I think that's about it. I feel you, man. I think for now though, it's 7:41. Um, I had a pretty late night last night fixing an 8-inch water main, so I think for now I'm gonna call the stream. We did a lot of work though, especially doing the magazine and the handguard. Particularly more or less on the magazine because you know it's the magazine. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream and get out of here. I have. I've played World of Guns both on PC. I guess that is a PC game that I did play. And then I did download it on my phone for a little bit. I just think the progression in that game is it's kind of stupidly hard, and it kind of pushes you to buy the whole thing, which I kind of don't want. I want a good challenge to progress in the game, but I don't want to have to be like pigeonholed into buying the rest of the game. I really liked it though because you could definitely get it's really good 3D models of the guns and you can get really good views of them. So if I was trying to make a particular in real life gun and I needed a good 3D model of it so I could see all the details on it, that's the game that I could use. But like I said, it almost felt like I had to purchase the whole game in order to continue that. So I uninstalled it and I no longer play it. Other than that, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here and see you guys in another stream at a different time. Thanks so much for coming out. And thank you guys so much for suggesting these mobile games, because I have been looking for new ones. So.